Hunter x Hunter is a Japanese adventure fantasy manga series turned animated television series written and illustrated by Yoshihiro Togashi. Published in March of 1998 through Shueisha Inc.'s Weekly Shonen magazine, Weekly Shonen Jump, the manga was first adapted into an anime by the Japanese animation studio Nippon Animation in October of 1999. Written and illustrated by Yoshihiro Togashi, a Japanese manga artist born in April of 1966, Hunter x Hunter follows the journey of a young boy named Gon Freaks in his quest to become a hunter. Licensed, elite members of humanity who are capable of tracking down secret treasures, rare beasts, or even other individuals, and find his father, Jing Freaks. Gon is an athletic, naive, and friendly boy who, after spending a lot of time in the woods as a child, can easily get along well with animals and possesses superhuman senses, such as a heightened sense of smell and sight, as well as a very keen sense of taste. Characterized by his long, spiky, black-green tipped hair and large hazel-brown eyes, Gon typically sports a green jacket with reddish edges covering a black or white tank top underneath, green shorts, as well as a pair of green-laced boots. While his will is stronger than most, and he can be very level-headed in arguably stressful situations, this clear mind of his often makes it difficult for others to understand or relate Gon's actions or thoughts to what people would consider normal thinking, with some believing him to be a little insane. As the Phantom Wiki for the series describes, his morality is complex, almost judicial. Gon values his life and ethics, but he can disassociate his personal feelings from them. In his quest to become a hunter, and subsequently find his father, Gon is joined by three others. Leorio Pardonite, a rookie hunter and a current medical student with the goal to one day become a doctor, who was first introduced in Chapter 2 of the manga, An Encounter in the Storm. As a tall and fairly muscular young man with small brown eyes and spiky black hair, Leorio typically wears a dark blue business suit, black shoes, and a pair of tea-shade sunglasses. Despite jokingly being referred to and or mistaken as an old man near the beginning of the story by some characters, he's actually a lot younger than he looks, being a 19-year-old teenager at the start of the series. Often acting as the big brother and comic relief of the group, Leorio is not one to talk and retreats when faced with overwhelming odds in battle. On countless times, we see that his real priorities seem to be friends first, then his dreams of becoming a great doctor, with everything else afterwards. Killua Zoldyck, a rookie hunter and the heir of the Zoldyck family, the deadliest and most infamous group of assassins in the world, as well as the third child of Sylvia and Kikyo Zoldyck, who was first introduced in Chapter 6 of the manga. The first phase begins, Part 2. As a very lean kid with spiky silver hair, pale skin, and blue eyes that change shape depending on the mood that he's in, narrowing and sharpening when he goes into assassination mode, Killua typically wears baggy clothing, with his usual attire consisting of long-sleeved and dark-colored turtlenecks, long baggy shorts, and purple boots. Initially introduced as a character who appears similar to Gon in his cheerful and mischievous-filled personality, Killua can be quite rude to others, mostly strangers and older people. However, despite his horrendous upbringings, Killua is one of the quickest thinking characters of the series, and often analyzes a situation with great ease and accuracy. Kurapika, a blacklist hunter, a type of hunter whose skills are dedicated to tracking down dangerous and wanted criminals, and the last survivor of the Kurta clan, an endangered clan from the Luxo province, who was first introduced in Chapter 2 of the manga, An Encounter in the Storm. As a 17-year-old kid with medium-length blonde hair with brown eyes, Kurapika typically wears a blue tabard, a type of short coat that was commonly worn by men during the late medieval ages in Europe, decorated with an orange-colored hem with a white full-body training suit underneath, Chinese-style winkle-picker flats, a style of shoe or boot worn from the 1950s, typically with a very sharp and long-pointed toe, and a single earring on his left ear that's ornamented with a ruby. Although being a level-headed and intelligent individual, he's reluctant to open up to people, and quite judgmental after having been traumatized from losing everyone he loved at the age of 12, and remains introverted as a way to stay focused on his goals. However, Kurapika can be kind and affectionate, smiling when those he calls friends are happy.
his quest to avenge his people, and Gon and Killua
What the? Hey! Let go of me!
Do it.
1, 2...
First serialized in Shueisha Inc., a Japanese publishing company headquartered in Tokyo, Japan, manga anthology Weekly Shonen Jump, in the 14th issue from March of 1998. Since June 4th of 1998, Shueisha has compiled most of the chapters into over 36 individual tankobon volumes, the Japanese term for a book that is not part of a series, with chapters 381 onwards having yet to be compiled into a volume as of March of 2021. Additionally, the series has also been published, Soshushin Edition, a relatively new format published by Shueisha, which reproduces chapter covers and color pages, while also including a variety of bonus features, such as posters and interviews, often for popular manga with ongoing serialization, that aims to recreate the manga as it was originally serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump, in the same size with the original color pages. Between December 9th of 2011 and April 18th of 2014, 11 volumes were released, which covered up to the election story arc. In chapters, that means 319 to 339, and in volumes, that's 30 to 32. Marketed as part of their Shonen Jump Advance line, a new imprint at the time under the Shonen Jump brand that was targeted for older teens and young adults, the American manga publisher and anime distributor Viz Media began publishing the manga in April 2005. As of March of 2021, 36 volumes have been released by Viz Media in the West. The manga has also been licensed and translated into multiple languages throughout Europe and other parts of Asia, with an example being with the German version of Weekly Shonen Jump, Banzai, who serialized the series between 2001 and 2005.
Never mind him. He's not exactly what you'd call normal. The name's Leorio. So, Matthew, you gonna be taking that bus too?
No, not me. I get sick when I ride the bus.
According to a short comic titled Hunter x Hunter Creation Secrets on page 26 of the 6th volume, the author of the series explained that one of his hobbies was collecting objects of all sorts, ranging from cards and old books to signs and stuff with skulls, which all shared the common element of an ecstatic feeling the moment he got what he wanted. Sparked by his hobby, Yoshihiro had always wanted to do a manga titled something Hunter, and after watching Downtowns, a Japanese variety show hosted by the popular Japanese comedy duo Downtown, comedy show which supposedly included the line "Stop repeating yourself," he was given the idea to call the series Hunter x Hunter. As for the story itself, the birth of his first son with his wife Naoko Takushi, a fellow manga artist well known for her magical girl manga series Sailor Moon, early in the series' publication, was listed as a great influence, particularly the manga's theme of a young boy searching for his father, according to a short interview in issue 5 of volume 1 for May 2003's Shonen Jump. When it comes to illustrations of the series, like his previous series Yu Yu Hakusho, a supernatural martial arts manga series that ran from 1990 to 1994, Yoshihiro uses drafting ink and Kubura pens, a type of pen nib similar to the G pen that's typically used by beginners, as it's arguably suitable for any type of manga, for his illustrations, but according to the same interview mentioned earlier, he started to use an eMac, short for Education Mac, to color them. In a short comic/author's note on page 126 of the first volume, Yoshihiro admits to having received help from his wife Naoko, and even adding the color/screen tone, a technique for applying textures and shades to drawings as an alternative to hatching, to the single color pages in the first volume. Since the series' first published issue in March of 1998, there have been several instances in which Yoshihiro has publicly apologized to readers of Weekly Shonen Jump for low-quality artwork, with a promise to redraw portions of the chapters for their tankobon releases. This isn't the only thing that's plagued the series. The publication history of Hunter x Hunter manga has been filled with hiatuses, in which serialized chapters would be separated by extended periods of time, with the longest being a 2-year hiatus ending in June of 2014. Not all these hiatuses have been given reasons, as Yoshihiro and his family's life are kept relatively hidden from the public, something that isn't uncommon in Japan regarding manga artists. However, most are attributed to illnesses, which many fans believe have to do with Yoshihiro's supposed severe back pain, which he has made numerous comments about in its author comments in various Weekly Shonen Jump issues.
too short, but I'm sure my superior stature will be enough to impress any navigator.
Could that work? No.
For its first series, the manga was adapted by the Japanese animation studio Nippon Animation, most known for the numerous anime adaptations of Western literature, like Anne of Green Gables and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and directed by Katsuhiro Furuhashi, a Japanese director well known at the time for having just directed the martial arts romance series Samurai X from October 16th of 1999 to March 31st, 2001 for 62 episodes on Fuji TV, a Japanese television station based in Odaiba, Minato, Tokyo, Japan. Additionally airing on the satellite television station Animax, this series closely follows the manga, with the exception being that the violence in the anime version is lessened for younger audiences, something which was already done for the manga, as, according to episode CV Hunter x Hunter of Jason Thompson's House of a Thousand manga, Yoshihiro loves gore, shocking violence, and generally evil characters. Something that's obvious given that the child heroes are always fighting serial killers, maniacs, and sadists, to a point where either his editor or Shueisha themselves found it necessary to censor the images with screen tone. Between September 20th of 2000 and September 19th of 2001, Marvelous Entertainment, a multinational anime music and video game distributor and corporation, released all 62 episodes on 13 separate DVDs labeled as volumes, with the American manga and anime distributor Viz Media releasing their own 4 DVD box sets for distribution in the Region 1 market, which includes Canada, Bermuda, and the United States from December 9th of 2008 and December 1st of 2009. In the same year of the release of the final box set, Hunter x Hunter began airing in the United States on the Funimation channel, now known as Toku, in the spring of 2009. After covering a majority of its source material, aka the manga, by 2001, Nippon Animation made the decision to end the adaptation rather than continue it with filler. A decision that may seem odd to many, but as John of Anime Nation points out in a post from September 27th of 2005, titled Ask John, Why Does Anime Use Filler Episodes? Quote, when an anime adaptation catches up to its source manga, the animation staff is usually faced with 2 options. Quit making the anime until there's more manga story to animate, or take the anime storyline into a new original direction. It makes logical sense if you drive on a paved road until the road ends. You can either sit and wait until more road is paved in front of you, or you can go off-road and make your own path. Although less expensive to produce than American animation, anime still requires a significant financial investment to produce. For that reason, most anime is adapted from established manga that has proven successful and popular. It's less risky to produce an anime based on an already successful formula than to create a totally original animated work. While it often outrages fans and general viewers of the show, financially it makes little sense for the studio to risk it all, with little to no guarantee that it will be worth the effort and the money. For the second series, the anime was adapted by the Japanese animation studio Madhouse, well known for having created and helped to produce anime series like Ninja Scroll, Perfect Blue, Death Note, and One Punch Man, and directed by Hiroshi Kojima from October 2nd of 2011 to September 24th, 2014 for 148 episodes on Nippon TV, the flagship station for the Nippon Television Network system. Acting as a complete reboot of the anime adaptation with an entirely new cast, the second series starts its story from the beginning of the manga in an attempt to adapt it more accurately, with scripting by Atsushi Maekawa and character designs by Takahiro Yoshimatsu, originally airing on Sunday mornings on Nippon TV. An hour after each episode aired in Japan, the American anime and manga distributor / production company, Crunchyroll, simultaneously broadcasted the episodes on the streaming service, with English subtitles in Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and the United States. During their panel at New York Comic Con, a fan convention dedicated to Western comics, graphic novels, anime, manga, video games, cosplay, toys, movies, and television shows that's held annually in New York City, the American manga publisher and anime distributor Viz Media announced on October 9th of 2015 they had acquired the license to the second series and would release the anime on DVD/Blu-ray with an English dub. A year later, on April 1st of 2016, the official Shonen Jump Twitter account made a brief post announcing that the series would premiere on Adult Swim's late-night programming block, Toonami, a block which primarily broadcasts Japanese anime with the occasional American action animations, starting on April 17th of that same year. Unlike most anime, the series' opening theme altered between 2 songs, both sung by Gunurius, vocalist Masatoshi Ono, titled Departure and Departure's second version. Additionally, the second series had 5 separate ending themes: Just Awake, Hunting for Your Dream, Reason, Sparkling Shooting Star, and Two Sides of the Same Coin, by the Japanese band Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Galnerius, and Yuzu respectively, with the Japanese duo Yuzu singing Reason, Sparkling Shooting Star, and Two Sides of the Same Coin, with the Japanese composer, lyricist, and musician Kenichi Yamada, also known as Hayande, joined the duo on the last one.
New, bigger fights need to happen. But in the end,
I don't understand. Why do so many people want to put themselves through all that just to get a hunter license? Huh?
You've made it all this way and you still don't have a clue?
Guess not.
Outside the
Listen,
award-winning manga
you're a
and
hunter.
equally
It
praised
means
anime
you need
adaptations, the story and characters of Yoshihiro Togashi's Hunter x Hunter have been made into several other mediums. Due to fans' unsatisfied reactions, to put it lightly, to the conclusion of the first series by Nippon Animation in 2001, 3 subsequent OVAs were produced and carried the plot from where the broadcast left off, during the York New City arc, and cover the Greed Island arc. Although the OVAs were aired successfully after the original anime's initial run on Animax, Viz has yet to show any intention of releasing English versions of the OVAs, most likely because of conflict with the second anime series they produced. Before the first anime television series was created, a short film adaptation of Hunter x Hunter was shown as part of the 1998 Jump Super Anime Tour. Created by Pura, a Japanese animation company headquartered in Mitaka, Tokyo, with a voice cast entirely different from the 1999 Anime Adaptation series that would come a year later, the film acted as a sort of pilot and adapted the first 2 chapters. Shown alongside a One Piece pilot titled One Piece Defeat the Pirate Genzaki during the traveling show, it was later made available for purchase on VHS only through a mail-in offer from Weekly Shonen Jump. According to one of his author comments on the 33rd issue of Weekly Shonen Jump in 1998, Yoshihiro himself took part in voicing one of his characters in the film. However, it's unknown exactly who or what he voiced. 2 other films, Hunter x Hunter, Phantom Rouge, and Hunter x Hunter, The Last Mission, were also released, but were created by the second television anime staff. Released on January 12, 2013 and December 27, 2013, respectively, both films follow semi-original stories, with Hunter x Hunter Phantom Rouge loosely following an unpublished story Yoshihiro wrote about 10 years prior, according to a short article detailing the then recently released teaser for the film by Anime News Network. Additionally, there have been 2 musicals titled Musical Hunter x Hunter and Musical Hunter x Hunter, The Nightmare of Zoldyck, respectively, with the first being an original story taking place between the York New City story arc and the Greed Island arc that was originally performed during December of 2000, and the second being a retelling of when Kurapika, Leorio, and Gon go to fetch Killua back from his family estate after the end of the Hunter exam arc that was originally performed during August of 2002. There was also a live-action play titled Real Stage, Hunter x Hunter, A Longing for Palthadic, A Spider's Memory, which was performed 16 times at the Theater Sunmail in Shinjuku, Tokyo, during the month of August in 2004, and retells the Phantom Troop finale in the York New City arc. There's also been 10 Japan-exclusive video games based on Hunter x Hunter, with many of which having been either developed or published by Konami, a Japanese entertainment, video game, and gambling conglomerate, or Bandai, a Japanese toy maker and former video game company. These games range from role-playing strategy games to action-based adventure games, and were released on WonderSwan, a handheld game console released in Japan by Bandai, WonderSwan Color, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation, and PlayStation 2. This, of course, doesn't include the numerous games in which characters from the series have appeared alongside other Weekly Shonen Jump properties, like Jump Superstars, J-Stars Victory Versus, and Jump Force. Like most popular anime/manga series, there have of course been multiple books, with 3 of which being film books based on the first anime series, authored by Nobuaki Kishikun, and 2 being guidebooks, a book of information typically about a place with the intended use being for visitors or tourists, titled Hunter x Hunter Characters Book, World X Character X Blessing, and Hunter x Hunter, Hunters Association Official World and Character Guide, which were released by Shueisha in January of 2001 and June of 2004, respectively. Lastly, there is also an extensive trading card game by Bandai.
Very similar to this. With that said, the Needle People series is slightly more expansive and
Come on.
I didn't even know it was possible.
What the hell's he doing?
Thank you for watching. My name is Jacko. If you want to know more about me, check out my Twitter at Jacko_2026. If you want to watch the show in its entirety for yourself, as well as read/watch the additional content related to the manga and anime adaptations, you can find links to everything mentioned in both the description and pinned comment below. Make sure to hit subscribe and that like button below if you enjoyed the video, as well as leave a comment as to which anime or movie series you'd like us to cover in a future video. If you enjoyed this video and would like to not only see them continue but improve in quality, consider supporting us on Patreon. Link in the description below.